Hello everyone. Happy card making day. How is everyone doing today? You enjoying all the videos? I know I've been watching some of them. I did have to work today for a little bit. Hi Amy, thanks for joining. Hi Kathy. Hi Bree, thank you for joining. Hi Shirley. Hope everybody's enjoying all the videos. Hi Barbara. Thank you everybody for watching and joining. I hope everybody's able to watch all the videos and get some ideas and you're having fun. Just going to give a second for a couple people to come on and then I'm going to get started. I was actually watching all morning. I ended up having to go into work for a little while, so I had my phone at work and I kept turning the videos on. Good thing my boss wasn't there. All right, I'm going to get started. The Stampin', yes, it is my favorite, Tara Beth. My absolute favorite. I don't know why. I really, really like this set. So I am going to get started, and I was watching everybody's cards, and Amy did a fall card, and then there was a Christmas, and another Christmas, and another. And I almost changed my card the last minute because I felt bad. Everybody's doing Christmas cards, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm using my favorite set, the Delivering Cheer, and the sentiments from Holly Jolly Wishes. So I'm going to get started, and I wasn't going to do a fun fold. I do a fun fold every week on my live, and I said, you know what? I'm so used to doing them, I'm just going to go with it. So I am starting with a panel of Smoky Slate. It's 8.5 by 5.5 and not scored. I am going to take the Delightful Tag Topper Punch. Say that 10 times fast. And I'm going to slide this in. Now, obviously, when you're making the tags, you need them the sizes for the little slits here. But this does work. You just kind of, just bear with me here. You slide it all the way in, and then I'm just going to make sure it's perfectly even with the edge. So just put it on its side just so that you're sure that it's even, and make sure it's all the way into the back also. So even and all the way to the back. And I think this is the hardest part, just doing this. And after this, it's a breeze. I'm just going to punch, and I'm sorry if that shook the camera a little. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do the same thing again on this side. Just slide it all the way in, and then just kind of make sure it's even with the edge. And we're going to give it another punch. And what happened to my... These little papers out of the way. And that's it with the punch part. Then we are going to take our trimmer, and we need to cut off these little the end pieces. All right. So I'm going to start. I don't know if we can see this. Let me just see if I can move my trimmer back a little bit. Okay, it's in there. So I'm going to. You're going to line up this part right here, the little indent, right on your cutting line. Just like that. And if it's a little bit off, it's okay. You could trim it with your scissors. All right? And you're just going to very lightly push the cutter, and you'll feel it like loosen up. And we're going to take that piece away. And then we're going to do the same up top here. We're going to come down and cut it right to the little notch. Take that away. And while I have it in the trimmer, I'm just going to give this a little score. And we're going to turn it over, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it this way only because I can see the line a little better, so I know I have it lined up. So we're going to go here and just go up until you feel it loosen. Take that away. And then the same thing up here. Come down just until you feel it loosen. Okay, and just these pieces we don't need, right? And then we are going to, with the scored, this is the scored one, we are going to put this edge at the 4 1/4, and we're going to score the card. And that's it to the fun fold. Okay. Actually, I want this on the bottom, so we're going to keep it this way. I got to make sure I have this right. There we go. So we're going to fold this one over. And when I cut my line, sometimes when I flip it, I like this flat. Let's give this a good burnish. And we're going to fold this one over like that. Okay, that's it for the card base. Now we're going to do the decorating. So I have a panel of pale papaya and a panel of basic white. All the measurements will be on my blog tomorrow. But the basic white is I have my measuring thing right here. 2 1/8 by, I believe it's 5 1/4. 2 1/8 by 5 1/4. And the pale papaya is 2 1/4 by 5 1/8. Okay, so on the basic white, and we're going to stamp from on the bottom part. And we're doing in basic black because or tuxedo black, sorry, because we are going to be coloring this in. And whenever we color with the Stampin' Blends markers, we make a big mess. Okay, and that's why I always have extra handy. Let's try this again. That was not supposed to happen. I'm going to stamp this right on the bottom, just like that. And then we're going to stamp the packages on the top. Oh my goodness. Put my stamp pad away from me today. And we're just going to line this up. I have to bring it a little closer. We're going to line it up. You can, since these are photopolymer, you can see the bottom of the package, and I'm going to just line it up with the skirt. And just there, just like that. And then while I have the black ink out, and I'm making a mess, I'm going to stamp the sentiment, and we're going to hope we get this right straight too. Part of me wants to stamp it crooked just to be sure. All right, we're going to stamp this just on the top. 'Tis the season to be jolly. And we're going to really hope we get this straight. Had to hold my breath for that one. All right, we're just going to add a little bit of color. Color her arms and legs with the ivory. This is ivory, right? Get everything out. And I am not looking at comments, so if there is anything, if there's any questions, I'm sure somebody will answer. Otherwise, I usually go back after my live videos to read the comments. I have not mastered reading comments and doing cards at the same time. Okay, we're going to color her shoes. with this smoky slate, trying to make them kind of look a little bit silvery. And part of the reason is because we are using a panel of the Peaceful Place DSP. All right, and we're just going to color, I'm going to color some of the ribbons on the package with the smoky slate. And I'm just kind of putting the color there the best that I can. And then I have soft succulent and pale papaya for the packages. This is another one of my non-traditional, oops, wrong end, Christmas cards. I like traditional colors, but I also like non-traditional colors. So I like to do a mix. And I'm not really doing any shading with the packages. I'm just kind of coloring however I think it looks okay. I had so many different stamp sets. I don't know about anybody else, but I had so many different stamp sets pulled out, didn't know what I was going to use. I just couldn't make up my mind. It was one of those. Hope everybody's leaving the comments on the Facebook page for the giveaways later on or tomorrow. I'm not sure when Amy's pulling all them. We're just using all the dark and the light, just so we have all different shades of boxes, I guess. Oh, can't seem to get my markers open today. I'll color this one in too. Hope everyone's having a good day. I don't know how it is by you, but it's a gorgeous day here. Oh my goodness. Now, I did, let's get those out of the way. I did do one thing ahead of time. I'm doing some paper piecing. I cut on a panel of the Peaceful Place DSP. I stamped the skirt and fussy cut it. I do not fussy cut live. Those of you who have watched me know I do not fussy cut live. It just is not happening. The extent is when I do my envelope. The whole idea of fussy cutting scares me. Just going to get my tweezers only because I need to put this down without getting glue all over me. We're just going to set that right where her skirt goes. Just like that. So I didn't have to color the skirt in. I'm letting the DSP do the work. All right, we're going to adhere this. Make sure everything's dry on it. Don't go over that. I'm going to adhere this with some Stampin' Seal. do the pale papaya matte. Just okay. And I always like to rub it on the back. I'm always afraid I have ink on my fingers. And I'm always afraid of, especially when I'm working with white, I'm afraid of doing it, rubbing the front of it and then smearing the ink, and then I have to start again. Not like that's ever happened, but okay. So we're just going to adhere this now right to the front, like that. And give it a good rub again. Right, and then for the inside, we are going to stamp. Now, I do have to make sure when this goes inside, I have to stamp on this side. Otherwise, it's going to come out on that side. So I'm going to stamp it all the way to the edge. And this is from the Holly Jolly Wishes, the fa la 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 la. I figured it went with the front sentiment. And we're going to stamp that all the way over here, so then we're sure it's not going to okay. We're going to stamp on the other side because apparently I had ink on the edge that I missed. Good thing paper has two sides. Try this one more time. Okay. And then, where is it? From the, I believe it's the Perfect Plaid. I want to say, yeah, the Perfect Plaid stamps. I needed a Merry Christmas that was one on top of the other. Everything I was finding was next one on side by side. I'm just going to stamp that just underneath. And then we're going to stamp just the top portion of the package because I don't want her arms in this. Oh my goodness. Stamp pad's making me really nervous today. We're just going to stamp just the top packages right there. And I'll just throw a little bit of color on them really quick. And I can color them different. I can color them the same, whatever. I think these are all going to have silver bows because that's just easier for right now. And the packages will just be different colors. This is, I believe, I don't know why, but it is just my favorite set from this catalog. I just love playing with it. Whether I do the fall cards or the Christmas cards. I've done birthday cards with it. I just think it's a lot of fun. I think part of it is it's kind of like a puzzle, so I feel like I have to match it up. And we'll just do one more. dry, we're going to adhere this to the pale papaya mat. Just like that. And then we'll adhere this inside. I do have a little bit of bling to put on the outside of it. I wanted to make sure everything was together first. And that'll be right underneath there. Now, we will get a piece of the pale papaya, the open weave ribbon. And I didn't pre-cut a piece because I wasn't sure how big of a piece I needed. Just going to thread it through. Let's get an idea. That looks about right. Along with a little extra. And then once we tie it, we'll and you can even put like a little pouch on the inside of this. And since I can't tie my bow, wonderful. To make it a gift card holder. I thought about doing that also. But I figured, okay, let's stick with what I've made this one before, so I knew. There we go. I knew how much room, and I figured let me just do exactly what I've done before. Just trim this up a little bit. And then I have a couple of the Genial Gems. I'm going to use, again, the pale papaya ones. I mean, I could use the soft succulent or the mint macaron, but we're going to stick with the one color. And we'll use one of the larger ones. We're going to put it right about there. All right, get the envelope. I have a panel. Actually, before I do this, I'm going to attempt to stamp the presents just on the bottom front again, without her arms in the way. So just the top view. And then while they're drying, we'll do the envelope flap. Like Mary says, never a naked envelope. It's the first impression of what people see. Okay, and this is the extent of fussy cutting I do live. I'm always amazed when Mary and Jamie do their the fussy cutting they do live. I could never. That's too much pressure. I'd end up cutting off a leg or cutting off a letter. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of color real quick and we'll be all done. You always want to put something inside your envelope, whether it's a scrap piece of paper or a piece of acetate. You want to put something inside because the Stampin' Blend markers tend to bleed. And you don't want that to bleed through and mess up the back of your envelope. See it all the way through. these open. I'm having trouble opening them today. Throw the color on really quick. All the directions, the measurements, everything will be on my blog tomorrow, which is creativestampingdesigns.com. I will have all the measurements there, and I believe the videos will be on the World Card Making Day Facebook page. But everything, all the measurements, everything will be on my blog. So if you want to re-watch and stamp along. There we have it. It's actually a very easy, fun fold. Like I said, the punch does go through, no problem. And there you go. It's all tied up and ready to go. Right? Thank you, everyone, for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you are all making some cards, and don't hoard the cards, though. You got to mail all these cards that you're making. And Sue Prather will be back in about a half hour at 5 o'clock, and I believe she is our last one that'll finish up our day of stamping. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Bye-bye.